Good morning, everyone. How are you? It is Laura Clark, your Soul Wise Living mentor, who has now transitioned into being the founder of the Wise Living Institute. And I'm excited to be here today with you for day number 2 of the 3-day How to Ask, Receive, and Understand the Signs from the Universe series. If you're here live, I would love to have you comment for me so that I can see you. I need to make sure that I can see the comments today. So we will head over here into doing this. Um, so I'm really excited about this series because it really is a great way for you to really embrace having more faith and trust in your choices and your decisions in life, and being able to see how you can be guided by the universe. So again, if you're here live, I saw a couple of people pop in. If you could just comment, that would be terrific, and then I can see you. So let's do just a quick recap. Day 1 was all about asking. And in the ask, we were really looking at making sure that we always seek knowledge. Always seek knowledge. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. When we seek knowledge, we are looking and being curious as to how things can come to us. So I know it's always hard to ask for support. And when we are at that stage of pushing off and not allowing things to come to us, and we'll talk a lot about that today, and we don't ask for help, we cannot receive it. So we must step into a place of asking and always seeking knowledge for yourself. That's a great acronym. The second thing we did with the day 1 asking is we looked at creating discerning questions, the who, the what, the not so much the how, and being cautious of the where and the why, right? Because those create attachment to the answer, and we really want to detach from how these answers come to us. So really looking at creating discerning questions about who can help me, where can I get that support, what is the best next step for me to be taking. Those were how we crafted our discerning questions. Good morning, Donna. Welcome. One of the things that I had 2 questions that came up yesterday that I want to address before we go into receiving. And one was in the day 1, I spoke about a soul's truth journey. And what is a soul's truth journey? A soul's truth journey is a very specific kind of guided meditation that allows you to get into, leave everything behind as we do in meditation, and find your own soul's truth through messengers from the universe. And I do that in the Living Your Truth Sisterhood a lot, and a lot in my private coaching clients. My private coaching sessions almost always have a soul's truth journey in them, because that allows us to create the framework for our time together. So that's where I do those soul's truths journeys. The other question that came up is somebody had gone and looked at the private coaching program, and I am accepting applications for that right now, and they asked me why 6 months. And I said, because that's how long I have found that it really takes to dive into unraveling some of our limiting beliefs, accessing our own inner wisdom, being able to step forward purposefully and passionately and live your truth. So I've done these in one-offs, I've done them in 3 months, and I find that when you commit to a 6-month program, you get far better results than if you are just going to somebody for 1 session or 3 months or 6 weeks, whatever. The work that I do is magical and mystical, and the results come exponentially when we work together for 6 months. So I wanted to address that before going into day 2 of receiving. Day 2 receiving. Let's talk about 2 things. We're going to talk about worthiness and we're going to talk about openness. In order to receive something, we have to feel like we are worthy of receiving it. So how many of you have ever gotten a present and go, oh my God, this is too much? Oh my goodness, this is amazing. It's just, it's beyond what I need. What you're doing is you're putting up a wall and you're deflecting that you are worthy of that gift. How many of you have received a compliment and somebody says, boy, you look wonderful today. I love that shirt. Oh, this thing, I got it in consignment. And I did, and I love it. And if you say thank you for this shirt, if you say, Laura, you look good in that shirt, I'll say thank you. Okay? Because you need to feel worthy of receiving. And in this ask, receive, and understand the messages of the universe, you need to know from the bottom of your heart that you are a divine creature meant to be here, to stand tall, to live your purpose, to be passionate about it, and to make a difference. And if you're here watching this right now, you are that. You are all of that and then more. So I want you to put your hands over your heart right now and say, I am worthy of receiving this and more. I am worthy of receiving signs and so much more from the universe. Thank you. Because you are. So we need to be open and feeling like we are worthy when we are going out and looking for signs, or just being, the second thing, open to signs coming to us. So in order to receive, we actually have to go out and look. We can't sit. You can sit in your office and play the radio and a specific song will come up. That's a sign. You can sit in your office and somebody will text you something. That's a sign. But the greater world is waiting for you, and going for a walk in nature, in a park, at a mall, along a boardwalk, through the city, wherever you feel juiced or wherever you live, when you go out into the world, those signs come to you. And I live out in the boonies, and it takes me 15, 20 minutes to get anywhere. So I look to Mother Nature to give me those signs. Okay? So I will often take a recess and a lunch break and then an afternoon recess and go out into nature and just be curious. What do you have for me today? Okay? So I'm open. So we go out into the universe to get signs from the universe. When you go out, what you want to do is keep your discerning question in your mind. Keep your discerning question in your mind and know you are worthy of receiving a message from the universe, a sign from the universe. So when we do that, we go off. One of the examples I used yesterday was you were having a dermatological thing happening, right? So you want answers to it, right? And you go out into the universe and you say, what is my best next step in finding an answer to this dermatological challenge? And so if I went out, I might be walking through the woods on a path and see a really nice piece of bark that I'm drawn to. And all of a sudden I say, bark. What kind of bark would be good for this challenge? What kind of oil from bark could work? And from, as an aromatherapist certified, I would be able to answer that question for myself, right? Or you might be walking through town, through a mall, and you might be seeing a display that has the magical potion cream for this dermatological challenge. You can look at that, and is this the answer? This is a sign that maybe a lotion is the right answer, but is this the right lotion? Right? So then it becomes the next question in your process, but it's clearly saying there's some sort of lotion or salve for you, right? So have that discerning question in the forefront of your mind when you're open and worthy of receiving messages. The other thing is to be just curious, right? And be curious and creative. And I will talk about a really great book that allows you to remind yourself that curiosity is really a fun thing, and it brings about a lot of answers for you. And it's a simple book, and I'm pretty sure anybody in this group probably either read it or has read it to a child, because it's a children's book. It's one of those Dr. Seuss group books. It's by P.D. Eastman, and it's Are You My Mother? And if you haven't read it, it's about a chick that gets hatched, the hatchling, and the mom flies away, and he's in the nest all by himself, and he decides to go find his mother. And he steps out of the nest, and he falls down on the ground, and he starts walking, and he sees a cat, and he says, "A kitty, are you my mother?" "No, I'm not your mother." He sees a cow and a dog and a backhoe or a scooper, right? And he's just out there looking around for the sign of, "Are you my mother?" That's his discerning question. And he's getting a sign put in front of him. He's getting a kitty cat. He's getting a cow. He's getting a hen. I think there's a hen in there too. He's getting all of these signs put in front of him. And he's getting no's from those signs. He's getting the answer no. So then he keeps going forward. So science will give you no's. This is not the time. This is not the right avenue. You know, you might see that salve or that lotion in the mall, and you pick it up and you say, "Lotion's a good idea, but not this one. It has all these parabens in it, and oh my gosh, it's got toxic waste in it," right? So no, that's not the right one, but you're on your path and you're curious. So this hatchling gives us lots of lessons on how to be curious and look to the universe for all of these magical, mystical signs. One of the greatest signs that I ever, ever, ever received was when I was on a quest. And I was out in California, in the mountains of California, middle of the night, and I'm on this quest, and all of a sudden up the driveway, I was at a home, up the driveway comes a car, and the headlights right on me, like the path of the driveway, the headlights right on me, and it seemed to be like those headlights were on me forever. Like all of a sudden, someone was really fully seeing me. And it scared the bejesus out of me. And then the quest was over, and we were processing it. And I was talking with my mentor at the time, and I said, "You know, somebody came up in a car during our quest." And she said, "Yeah, that was me." And I just immediately started tearing. And she said, "Why?" I said, "Because the headlights, they were like right on me. And it was like you saw into exactly who I am and what I'm here for and how to step forward from whatever was blocking me." And she just sat there with her head tilted with a beautiful smile on her face, and she said, "I do, I see you." So signs come in multiple different forms. So if you have any questions, throw them into the chat. I know this is a lot of juice to take in, right? Day one was all about asking and creating those discerning questions. Today is about receiving, being worthy. I am worthy of receiving signs and so much more, because you are. We talked about being open and curious, right? Going out into the universe with our discerning question in our mind. So today's assignment, if you choose to do it, and I really hope that you do choose, is to go out into the universe with your discerning question and look around you and acknowledge or observe where you are blocking yourself from receiving. So it's not about actually receiving today, it's about eliminating any blockages. So stand there for a moment and say, where am I blocking this? Am I blocking it from my heart? Am I blocking it from my thoughts? Am I blocking it from my body? Allow yourself to see where you are blocking, and then just kind of wash it off. Just go, "Oh, it's not my mind." Get those thoughts out of my mind. It's glommed onto my body. It's just glommed on. glum it off. It's on my heart. Take it off your heart space. Put your hands on your heart. I am worthy. And then start looking for a sign based on your discerning question today. Right? So look to the blockages. Release them quickly and easily. Sometimes when we have a thought, if we just go, it disappears. And then be open and curious and be that hatchling in the Are You My Mother, and allow that to come forth. Okay? So I wanted to keep these 15 minutes, and we will be doing reviewing of this over the course of the next week or so, because it's really so very important. Asking, receiving, and understanding the messages of the universe so that you can step forward living your truth. The last thing I want to share with you that I spoke with at the beginning is I am in open applications for the 6-month Wise Living Institute Live Your Truth coaching program, and I would love for you to just take a look at it. You know, if it's not for you, I get it. That's fine. But it may be a sign for where you are blocking receiving, right? If you are looking for support, going to this site and taking a look at what it offers may be just what you need to unblock something. And if it speaks to you, certainly look at it. If you have any questions, then reach out to me. And I've put the link into the chat box for everybody. So go forth. If there are no questions, go forth. Barb says she's having trouble with her computer. Yeah, technology is, and we're not even in Mercury in retrograde. Technology is still kind of kicking my butt as well. But go forth, create your discerning question, go out and be open, look at where you might be blocking, glum it off, shake it off, and be open to receiving, because you are worthy of getting all of the messages from the universe and so much more, right? I will be back later this afternoon, either in a post or live, to help support you in any way that you need support today around this concept, and to see what those signs were, because we're going to get into sharing, understanding the signs tomorrow. I'll be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I hope you that have a, what's today? Today's Wednesday, right? A wonderful, wacky, and wickedly fun Wednesday. I'll talk with you later. Bye, everybody.